So right now, I am sitting here with the man himself, Andrew Cristi. He said that we met each other on Fire Island.
We did actually. No, I promise we did.
I know we did. That might have been one of those days.
It was one of those 3 days.
Those 3 days.
One of those 3 days that seemed like one day. Yeah, and let me tell you, when you see them, you're gonna be like, oh well, I know you're crazy, but now, you know, it's like let me tell you.
But listen, this is so profound for you to be able to do this and put yourself out there, you know, because when we suffer from things or we go through things, you know, we tend to internalize.
Yeah, well,
and
you see, it's like when I use the word crazy, it's because, you know, I think that you can end up owning the word. It's like the same way that, you know, you can own any word that, I guess, ends up being stigmatized. It's like, I mean, people have called me crazy my entire life, and I think that I've turned that suffering into art and into something that I can cherish, and you know, you turn your creativity into something that ends up helping you through the pain. And,
let me ask you, why Peter Pan?
I think that Peter Pan is a great story that is so fleshed out that people really don't see. I think that when Walt Disney made Peter Pan, he said that was his favorite story, and then he made it, he goes, there's no way to make this character likable. He's actually a really unlikable person because he's an anti-hero that's disguised as this little boy. I mean, I'm 31 years old. I'm 31, and look at me, you know, I'm like...
You look like you're 12.
Well, thank you. I mean, but like, should I be saying thank you? It's like, I mean, you could... A lot of people should accept the fact that, you know, 31 is not an old age, you know? It's like, even if I was 40, if I was good looking at 40, that's a great age to be, you know? You look amazing. You look absolutely amazing. And I think that, you know, it's fine to embrace that and to accept it. And it's just like, I think our society being desperate for youth. But like the thing is that you know, with Peter Pan, he seems so unlikable because some of the things that he does is selfish and bratty and stuff like that. We all have those moments in our lives.
Yes, we sure do.
And you know what? It's like nobody's a perfect person. It's like, you know, Cinderella, it's like, okay, so she's the perfect princess. And then you have Prince Charming as the perfect prince. It's like, but Peter Pan, he's got that little bit of an edge. And I like the Disney prince who comes along.
Fire Island, I know you like the bad boys.
Yeah, you know, it's like, I like the one who's a little bit real, who's going to touch on humanity.
Right, but tell me something. So you also have some characters that are biblical references.
I do.
How did you know, that was a lot. To me, it was a lot because first I was reading, okay, there's a comparison to Peter Pan, and now I'm looking at my characters from Peter Pan as having issues. Peter Pan himself being selfish, as Wendy not realizing that this is not the man for you, move on. As Tinkerbell saying, oh my gosh, I love this man so much, but I can never have it, but I'm still going to be there.
You know, and I think that there is a lot of biblical references to Peter Pan. You are so beautiful. I'm sorry. Like, stop looking. Your eyes are so far apart. But like, there's a lot of biblical references in Peter Pan that people aren't realizing, in the fact that Peter Pan is very Christ-like. And I don't want to bring myself and say like I'm Christ-like or anything, but you know, I don't want to be sacrilegious. But at the same time, I think the Bible is one of the most amazing stories of all time. You can't ever say that it's not.
Thank you. I do relate.
It's just an amazing story with so many. Obviously, it's the reason that it's been so passed on through time is because of the fact that there is so many intricate stories going on. And you know, I have a character named Judah who, I mean, he stabs me right in the back. It's just a great reference that I think that it'll resonate with people. And he's my Captain Hook. So it all kind of comes around, and it's a great metaphor.
Tell me about your Magdalena. Because I know you have to go because we have to start the screening and stuff.
Right.
Tell me about your Magdalena.
So Magdalena is a wonderful character. I think she's very interesting. She's sort of a Mertoy character because of the fact that we have a love-hate relationship going on, and you know, like Mertoy being dangerous liaisons with cruel intentions, we're Valmont and Mertoy. She's very much a narcissist and very much your typical borderline personality disorder. And she is someone who...
I see a lot of narcissism in the characters, not to cut you
off. Oh, no, but that's very much the Peter Pan generation, the millennial generation. And she's someone who's a very strong feminist. It's like, if a woman goes out and has sex like a man, they will be chastised in this society. And Magdalena is a very strong character who, you know, she looks at my character, she's the female Peter Pan, and she's like, if I acted like you, I would be, you know, just put out to pasture. And it's a very big shame. And we have that war, but at the same time we have a deep admiration for one another and a deep love for one another. And I think he's a very, very fascinating character. And I think a lot of, like, what I like is that my character isn't the only character. My character might be the only one who is diagnosed outright, but you see me go through all the other characters as sort of like almost like Orange is the New Black. How she goes through all the other characters that are just as colorful and wonderful as she is. You know?
Absolutely, absolutely amazing.
You are such a great person. I love talking.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's my pleasure, and congratulations, and keep working and keep doing it. And I will tell you this. This is going to help many, many,
Thank
many
you so much. That's
people.
all I want to do.
It's going to affect so many lives, and as gorgeous and as handsome and as sexy as you are, I'm quite sure people will continue to follow. So much success to
Thank
you.
you so
God
much.
bless.
Oh, thank you.
And continue to be as beautiful as you are.
Thank you.
Hi, and I'm sitting here with the actors from Peter Pandrew, Get Hooked, and I'm sitting with two of these handsome men. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm John McCown, and I play Diego in the film.
And I'm Carlos Leon. I'm the story and script supervisor.
Okay, and tell me about your character, and tell me what you do.
Basically, I'll let him start
Okay.
because it's actually interesting we're sitting here together because I actually play him in the film. Diego is actually this fine young gentleman, Carlos, here, so I'll let you open up with that first.
Well, it's actually really funny. I met Andrew back in college. He was in a LGBTQ group in college, and I was part of it.
You went to college at 11?
No,
Because
no.
you look like such a kid.
No, I'm currently 25.
Okay.
So, yeah.
He's legal. Okay.
Yes. Well, we met each other in college. I was a part of the Latin Alliance group, and Andrew was a part of the LGBTQ group. And our Latin Alliance group is very much into tolerance and awareness and being equal to everyone and making friends with everyone. And that's really what life should all be about. So after we met, we became friends. We were really, it was just tons of fun. He would invite me places and I would invite him places. And my character is basically important in the film because it speaks a lot about Andrew's voice, and it kind of helps Andrew's reliability as a narrator. And so Diego's based off of my character and Andrew in real life. The story goes, I come in later on in the story, and it was amazing to be part of this entire
Oh, really? Amazing. So, expand on this for me, sweetheart.
I will expand. Actually, I come from the same Latin American organization.
Right.
And so there was such a dedication to making this as realistic as possible, as far as like the basically representing Andrew's life. So they said, let's go back to the organization. Let's see if there's anyone there that kind of embodies what he embodies. And actually, you know, I want to speak a little bit about Carlos as a person. I've been working with him. He's such a great person.
Oh,
And he really is what I try to play in the film. Just a down-to-earth person, the voice of reason, calm, very true and loyal. And they went to Alas, the organization. They found me, and the rest is history. I auditioned for it.
How does this film actually relate to the both of you?
Well, the thing is, in my life, it's been very much, I have to support other people living in this type of issue. And the most important thing about this story, when it relates to Diego as a character, is to make sure that he is there for support. Because anyone can, at any moment, can be going through many different issues. And it's not just a label as someone who's crazy or someone that's just labeled by some type of society. It's very important to understand that Diego as a character goes and helps anyone that has issues. And apparently he doesn't have any known diagnosis on any kind of labeling, whether it's a mental illness, stigma, or any of that nature. So be that as it may, it shows that he is trying to be, he's just a protagonist in the story, as well as someone that helps the narrator.
As far as me, well, first I just want to say it's great to be working in association with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and I think it's awesome to work with organizations like that. I think that's also how this film corresponds to my life because I enjoy working with nonprofit organizations, just trying to do better in the world. As far as the actual character Diego, I think me and Carlos are really alike, so I think it was pretty easy to play him. I just tried to pick up on some mannerisms he had. Other than that, we have pretty much essentially the same personality. So what you see is what you get. He's what you see on the film.
John is very much, me and John are very similar. Very, very similar.
Not just the haircut.
Just the haircut, that's right. When I first met John, we wanted to keep this, the casting of all these other casting websites. We wanted to keep it as true as possible, as close as we can to the real people. Myself, John and Peter, we're, similar haircut, we have similar skin tone. He's much better looking. But I call him my little brother.
No comment.
Ever since I met him, I called him my little brother. If I had a little brother somewhere out there, he would be just like John.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Very sweet, right?
Yeah. But you know what? I will tell you guys this. Mental illness plagues 4 out of 5 people in the LGBTQ community. In the cisgender heterosexual community, it plagues 1 out of 4. But yet, we don't see where there's a lot of advocacy to get Latino and blacks, people of African descent, into therapy. What is your view on therapy, and what is your view on helping our community heal each other? Because we look outside and we see our people fighting in the streets, we see all this stuff, and here we have Andrew Cristi who's giving us a part of, putting it out there about mental illness and saying that this can be a possibility for many of the things that we do.
I think it's important to understand that issues, no matter where they come from, no matter who is dealing with them, whether they're Latino, whether they're African American, whether they are gay or straight, I think issues are going to be the same effect on anyone. And be that as it may, continue to live on the Latino or African descent, I think that regardless, we need to be there to support each other. So if we're out there trying to bully each other, that's wrong. It's best to support each other and be there for one another.
Basically, I think we can't just take it all on at the same time. The crime in the streets and, the 4 out of 5 people who have, mental illness.
Mental illnesses, yes. And have actually, in the LGBTQ community, the suicide rate is extremely high, especially when you come to the transgender community.
Exactly. It's one step at a time. And I think with this film, there's a controversial scene, I can't ruin it, but where they don't reach out for help in a suicide type case. And we don't try to advocate that you shouldn't reach out for help. We actually say that you should. But we are just trying to shine like a light on the negative stigma, basically that's associated with crying out for help or with mental stigma. That's kind of how I feel.
Well, thank you both so very much. It was a pleasure interviewing you both, and much success in your future careers.
Thank you.
God bless. Thank you. Okay, so tell me, what characters do you guys play?
Okay, well, I play Judah.
Judah?
Yes, his name's Judah, just like from the Bible. So I'm one of Andrew's sort of rivals, not really friends. We have a cat and mouse rivalry, and
Like a Tom and Jerry type of thing?
Tom and Jerry, and we just love this rivalry. We can't get enough of this. So we keep playing into each other's games, sort of, and I know that Andrew had an older brother in real life, and that he traumatized him. So I'm just trying to play into that older brother, and just patterns repeat. We're just trying to show that, and I think we do a very good job.
Is it hard at times for you to play that older brother knowing that it was something that was kind of difficult or dramatic in his life?
I try to have as much fun as I can. I mean, I'm an older brother myself, I'm the oldest in my family, so I kind of pulled from that when I was acting. But overall, I just tried to have as much fun as possible.
So let me just get to the big. Okay, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself.
Okay, hi, I'm Madeline Anthony, and I play Jane in the film, which is, so Jane is, you know, all the characters kind of are symbolic of the characters in Peter Pan.
Exactly, yeah.
So Jane's character is like the Wendy of the story, and she wants him to grow up. She wants him to become this, you know, the serious
You do look like a
boyfriend.
Jane, by the way. I just have to tell you that.
She wants him to be like the serious boyfriend, maybe turn into like her husband later on, and he just wants to philander and do what he wants to do. He doesn't want to grow up, and she is like the steadfast over the years, like telling him, you know, you should conform to these social norms, sort of thing, and grow up. And he doesn't want to. So that's basically my character. In a nutshell.
How does this character relate to you, to your real life?
In my real life, I wouldn't say that I'm really too much like Jane. I mean, I can relate to certain things about her. I mean, she has, you know, certain mental disorders, but really, I would say I'm a lot more free than she is. You know, like I'm bisexual. I'm a very open. I don't think I would act the way she does. I don't think I would, you know. So not too much. It's purely acting, I would say.
Oh, purely acting. So now, a lot of the characters, for me, it's really amazing because I never looked at any of the characters in Peter Pan as having any kind of mental illness until I received the email from Peter, and I'm like, wait, mental illness? How does that, did you guys get that kind of awakening when you realized Peter Pandrew and Peter Pan relate in that sense of, oh my gosh, these people were kind of, something was wrong and they probably needed help?
Definitely. I mean, I think you could definitely take that route. I mean, Peter Pan is such a, it's a great story. It's a kid's story. You know? It's light, it's funny, but if you take it, if you look at it from that perspective, I really think there are a few dramatic elements in each of the characters. I think Peter Pan,
I think they're in love, actually.
well, there could be a sexual underlining. There could. Very, very deep down.
Oh, okay. I said that.
I mean, honestly, I think if you look at a lot of movies or TV shows or literature today, if you can read it or watch it or anything, it can be lighthearted and uplifting, but if you really look at it like through that lens of mental illness or like what's really going on here, I think a lot of things are, could be brought to light. Like, there's a lot of mental illness and things being portrayed. I think a lot of times, but they're just not looked at through that scope. Do you know what I'm saying?
I totally
You know
get
what I
what
mean?
you're saying.
Yeah, but people just don't talk about it like that. You know what I mean?
And well, how do you feel about the fact that, do you think that we should be more open with talking about mental illness? Or should we just, I mean, some people think that it's something that we should just say, you know what, you can get help, you can do this, go do that, we don't need to talk about it. A lot of things we just pretend don't exist, you know? I 100% think that people should talk about mental illness way more. It's so common and people talk about it, and it's just, I think it's crazy how stigmatized it is, and it leads to things like suicide. And if people talk about it more, maybe it wouldn't be so stigmatized. You know, I've heard people say, like, you can just kind of will yourself out of a depression, you can just will yourself to be happy. And I think it's because they just don't understand, and it's just not true. I absolutely.
You've heard that, right?
Yes,
You've heard people say that. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about. So.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, and thank you all for sitting here with me, both for sitting here with me. I really appreciate it, and you are such life. Gorgeous, a pleasure.
Cool.
So, sweetheart, you are one of the actresses in Peter Pandrew, and we've dealt with the irony, the comparisons of it, you know, the relation to Peter Pan, the relation to religion, because of some of the characters and their names, Magdalena. You play Nikki. And how does this relate to you personally?
Well, I think that this film relates to all of us personally. It covers so many different areas of society, of the social stigmas behind addiction or mental illness, or just suicide, thoughts and the risks of suicide. So, I mean, I feel like everyone has someone in their life or has known someone to have dealt with any of these issues. I know personally, I have family members that have mental illnesses, and I have family members that suffer from addiction. And I have known friends who have committed suicide. And so I think that this film really does relate to not only me, but everyone who watches it.
Well, thank you so much. You're absolutely beautiful. I love you because you're a Maxinista. So absolutely amazing. And thank you for sitting and talking with me. And good luck with the rest of your career and everything like that. My pleasure. You're gorgeous.
Thank you. How are you?
Hi, Alex. So tell me about, oh my gosh, you are absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Skin, everything. Love the dress, the shoes. Wow.
I sent a picture to Andrew and I said, "Is this a good dress?" He's like, "Yes, that's the one."
Make me feel a bit underdressed.
No, please don't.
So tell me about your character.
My character, I play Allie. Allie is, well, we're talking about Peter Pandrew, right?
Right.
We're thinking, Peter Pan and all that. And there are some characters that kind of reflect characters of Peter Pan. I would say Allie's going to take around. But that she's very loyal to Andrew. She doesn't try to change who he is. She's there for him no matter what, because she's been there for a while. She's met him in high school and been there for throughout his life, and she's very loyal, and Andrew has welcomed her. He gave her a world where there's no judgment, and that's what really drew her to him, because she's very insecure, has problems going with herself, as you will see in the film, that everyone has their own little thing going on, and Andrew gives her that outlet where it's okay to be who you are, it's okay to have all this, be yourself and enjoy that.
Even though he's going through what he's going through,
Even
he
though
still
he's
has
going-
the ability.
To do that, and I think that's what makes it amazing. That's what makes it great.
So tell me, how does your character relate to your actual life? Because I've done a bit of acting myself.
That's
I
great.
played like a shoe at one point in time. And how does your character
Reflect me.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like no matter what, with everyone, you will find some way to connect. Everyone at some point in their life has something that you can say, wow, I went through that. And I feel like that's something that this movie is really showing, that there's so many people who are going through so many different things, and at the end of the day, you can find someone to relate to. And Allie, I can definitely relate to her. She's, kind of the back person, I don't want to say, but she doesn't want to outshine everyone. That's not her thing. She'll lay back, be there for Andrew, even if it means being number 2, not number 1. She's totally fine with that. And so I can definitely relate to that. I'm not one to want to go in the middle and be the center of attention, but I'll lay back, be myself, and, enjoy what I'm going through in my life.
Well, I love that. Well, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
And gorgeous.
Thank you. Pleasure meeting you.
My pleasure. Now with Marcus Acosta, and he's one of the actors of Peter Pandrew. And I actually had the opportunity to sit with Marcus for just a while and get to know the individual himself. And this man comes from a lot of spirituality, a lot of experience, and I'm actually honored to sit here and interview him right now and pick his brain. So hi, Marcus.
Hi, how are you?
And welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. How does this film relate to you?
How does it relate to me personally? I feel like the film brings up a lot of issues that are actually universal. Specifically with the character Gordon that I play, he is a character that's in the closet. He doesn't feel comfortable with and actually, I think that that's something that every single person that's alive can actually relate to, because everyone has a closet. Whether it's you are gay, you're trans, you can have cancer or something and not feel comfortable yet to tell your family. Everyone has a disclosure, everyone has a tipping point where they have to decide if they want to be raw and vulnerable or if they want to go within hide their truth.
How is it for you playing a closeted character? Because you don't seem like the type of individual that would have to hide yourself or mask yourself. So how is it for you to be able to step back into the closet to bring this character to life?
I feel like we all have closets, like I said before, so it's really drawing from that well-known experience. we had the pleasure of working with the Imperial Court of New York and Gary Cosgrove, and we were at a Night of the Glass and Gowns, which is a big HIV/AIDS movement. And that actually was very close to me too, because I actually lost my family to HIV.
I'm sorry for your
No,
loss.
it's okay. And at some point, I had to decide whether I was going to disclose that information or not to disclose that I lost my family to that disease too. So I feel like everyone has a well that they can draw from in that respect.
Okay, and the biblical references, how do those relate to you? Because, you know, being of LGBTQ experience, we're told that, especially Latino in the Black community, well, God doesn't like you, and God doesn't see this, and everyone tends to speak to us with this kind of knowledge, thinking that they can speak for God to relate to us. How does that affect you?
I am totally open to that. I feel like the concept of God is something universal and is something that's felt, not really something that's not a thing that you can actually convey through language, because God is really incomprehensible, and it's this concept that is multifaceted. It's every single archetype of human consciousness that's ever been put forth by our brains that are literally made of space. So it's really a moment where you tend to think, oh my God, like this. And this entire project is about being vulnerable and about being open and shedding stigmas. And so we really have to learn to be gentle with ourselves, like we were talking about before.
That's true.
It really all comes down to love, compassion, forgiveness, and devotion.
You say forgiveness. Why is forgiveness so important to you?
Forgiveness is important because it actually allows the person to free themselves and come to a state of peace in their own minds. And that's actually something that I've been trying to do for my whole life. It's a day-to-day process.
Yeah, thank you, my love. Thank you so much. And continued success with you. Oh, thank you. The pleasure is all mine. It's an honor. And I wish you the best in your career.
I wish you
Thank you, love.